of the Discord. Time for another technical analysis video. It's gonna be a absolutely crazy week, and I would say that if you are new to trading, trade it lightly. This is not the week you want to be messing around, okay? This is by all means the biggest week of the year, expectation wise. Why is that? Well, I will show you. Monday we have manufacturing PMI, and we've just had China numbers. Their PMI came down actually, so we'll see tonight. I swung some BABA calls in hopes that China pumps. And I think it's crucial to watch China this week. And what do I mean by China? For all new people, this is the German market here. Made a giant cup. If you want to watch China, it's HSI. And, okay, shit, these are the futures here. So, the Hang Seng is China. And as you can see, we sold below 20K on it pretty fast, but then it rebounded. So I'm going to be watching this, because if this starts going, obviously BABA is the ticker to play. And as far as BABA, you can see that it's been kind of coiling up for a move off lows. I'm gonna be looking for the this here, this green one, to pop up, because as you can see, it has absolutely sold off recently after that event. Remember, we played that gap up when they had that event, and then it's basically come down. So if we have a double bottom here and a reversal, we are good to go. And obviously look at the MACD. China kind of, if China is selling for days, you know a dump on the US market is coming, okay? And as you can see, we've now sold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you know, when I always mention sell programs, sell algos, they can be anything from 5 to 12 days. That's what this is. Okay, so if they initiate a buy program, you're gonna get the same type of move as we had here in January. Remember when the Hang Seng just ripped off October lows for weeks? All right, pretty straightforward week. I'm gonna keep it really simple, and that is, I'm gonna watch this MACD. Now, if you look at SPX on the daily, we have a buy signal of those Wednesday, Thursday lows. Okay. Now, this is the October trend line. My ultimate target for this run is this green box. Can it overshoot? Yes, it can. Will it? It all depends on two things, and two things only, and that is FOMC on Wednesday and Apple earnings on Thursday. Okay, so what to expect? Expect nothing, because if you start spending 4 hours in the chat talking about what you think the Fed is going to do and what Jerome Powell is going to do, you will develop a bias, okay, for how you want things to go. And then you're screwed. And you never know how the market reacts. Now, those of you who have been with me for a long time, have I traded FOMC successfully? Yeah, 9 out of 10 times, okay? However, I only trade the reaction of the press conference, because you can get a candle up and you have the people who say, oh, well, usually the first move's fake or the second move's fake. We're in uncharted territory here with the world changing, okay? With the new system coming in. We have no clue. I've said that the last line of defense here with this BRICS power move for the US is this BS stock market. Okay? So they can even drop it for 2 days and everybody jumps on SQQQ and then they, pump it $8 a day. I'm just liking this mad volatility we're getting with $5 to $8 moves with the VIX doing absolutely nothing, right? So check it out. Watch this. Now on the hourly, obviously we had the crossover here. So what am I thinking? Well, I want this gap, and we've been chasing this gap. And if this gap doesn't fill this week, I might buy a pair of new sunglasses. All right. Anyways, we got the 21 coming up on the 50. Okay. Once that goes, this is just gonna fly. So I'd say keep an eye on that. However, I would think Monday. And this is just me, thinking. I would think Monday we hold early on. Tuesday, possible pullback. All right, and depending upon it, there's a few levels I want you to check. Obviously, there are all these volume shelves here. 4155. The red line's huge. 4135. Okay, and under that, the 50 and the 21. Absolutely hold. Under that, we're down to Thursday and Wednesday's lows fast. Okay, now obviously you don't want to be sitting in calls here looking to see if the 50 or the 21 hold. But we have a sell signal here, but we still pumped high. So as you can see, if you want to broadly kind of be safe, here's the 1 hour chart. You got a buy signal here, still went lower. We have a sell signal here, still went higher. But as you can see in between, I mean, even if you caught, 409 to 416, that's a pretty substantial move. All right. So let's just see what happens next week. One thing that I am looking at, let me pull it up here from my archives. Out of all seasonality charts, and you can screenshot this one's pretty good. Okay, saw here we had that pullback late April and then absolutely shreked. Now this should go still, and then I don't know if that's Apple earnings or if that's FOMC, but see, it's got a drastic pullback and then flies, and then second half of May, sell. This is what interests me. And I had posted something in the chat that I thought was pretty interesting, which was the comparison to the year 2000. All right, and here it is. And in my opinion, this is tracking pretty well, this fractal. And as you can see here, we have higher to go. And then we also get that double pop here, and then we sell. So, but the sell doesn't come until September, October. So that could be the pivot. We could get a pause, but once they start reducing rates, the system's gonna go through a whole new mechanism and have to readjust, and that can be it. So I'll keep an eye on this one. All right, very, very interesting. And with that, there was something else I wanted to show you that I found. This guy's pretty awesome. He's got this kind of same thing, pullback, but look at the time frame here. All right, okay. So he's, are we here now? We're about here. So he's talking pop, pull back, and go. He overshoots the gap, and I kind of like this chart, so we'll keep that in mind too. And this one is very interesting. So what this is 65 weeks of how the market reacts. Okay, and we obviously have our October reversal, and he's projecting higher. So obviously these are all data points based upon history. Politically, we're in a climate where we need war. Not we don't. We need them to fuck off, but they need war escalation. And again, the LMT trick. Why am I moving this? I don't know if I can use this. The LMT trick is back in play. Clearly, we caught it on Friday. What do I mean by that? I mean that it's a low volume ticker, right? So when you see in the close, when it's done this all day, right? And you see this in the close, I mean, it gapped after hours $3 more. So we caught those 480 calls. We'll see with that oil depot fire in Ukraine that's been well discussed in the chat, as well as that 7.8 billion Navy contract. Something to keep an eye on. If they start hamming into LMT, it's playable again. And you can also see here on this indicator definite volume, right? What's Bitcoin doing? It had a pump earlier today and then sold off. So is it front running the market? Kind of is, isn't it? Because it did shoot up Wednesday pretty heavy, and then we saw Thursday, Friday we saw that insane move on SPX. So could this be a pop on Monday open for us to get out of all our calls and then it pulls back? Very possible. So I think this is good if we monitor this week. VIX, I mean, what do you want me to say? I think we're gonna find a bottom on Monday, and then probably Tuesday gaps up, and then it goes again. I mean, this chart here is hilarious. So yeah, just keep watching it, I guess. I will. How low can it go? I mean, again, it can go here if we really shrek here into the full moon. Now that's another tricky thing. The market never goes full into the full moon. It kind of pumps before. So we have a real possibility of it, of FOMC having an initial pop and then selling off. Again, I don't want to have any bias, but there's definitely a probability for that. And then, you know, we've all seen the Apple insider selling, right? And an interesting thing here to look at is the flow. This is the 50-minute flow for QQQ. See, QQQ goes up, all flow absolutely stops. And then if you look at the dark pool, you see we had that buy that then propelled it up. But if you compare it to SPY, look at SPY's flow. So there's definitely rotation going on here. But the SPY dark pool on the 1 minute is what's pushing the market. Okay? See here LMT. See, they started buying it, and then finally we get that pop. So I'm thinking this could run. But look at the dark pool. So obviously, always this data in particular is not right. Why do I say that? I say that because hedge funds shorted the tech rally for about $18 billion and lost, right? So, or some of them obviously made all that money and pumped it. What do we got earnings wise? We got SoFi. Not interested. Transocean, you know, great oil, blah, blah, blah. This obviously always has a giant move. Ticker CAR, CAR. I'll be looking at that. Then we got Uber. I don't want to play Pfizer. Fuck that. We got more oil, Marathon, BP. This is the first one here that really interests me. Could have a sizable move. Not gonna play Starbucks, but we'll see, maybe. CVS. Qualcomm already shreked this week a lot. All these solar names have kind of dumped, haven't they? Um, Let me know if someone's looking. The premiums are always insane on these. But yeah, it's all about my Play Data Dog. All about Apple. Last time I remember, Apple had absolute shit earnings, and as you know, Apple does not miss on earnings. But there's been substantial insider selling, even though we've had this rally, right? What does that mean? Well, it means that it could be because of taxes, because of the timing. It could be that, you know, if you're in the top tier of Apple, you have so much money you can make, paper airplanes out of your Hondo bills. It could mean that they wanted to buy the dip. It could mean that they know that the earnings are going to be atrocious. However, Apple usually chugs after earnings. But it is May, so I'm not, this and this is what interests me. The problem with playing block, as we saw last time, is it can get absolutely screwed by the market, right? It's not strong enough on its own. If it has good earnings and the market tanks on Apple, you're toast. Coinbase, however, it's wild. So we'll see. I'll look at the flow, look at what the market is. But it's really tricky to mess around here with Apple. You're better off playing direction on Friday. I mean, AMC has earnings. AMC is pretty crap. Anyway, Dixie, that is, in my opinion, just looking at the chart, a giant bear flag. Okay, and it's a bear flag with the 9 crossing over the 200 and the 21. That's a bear flag. I mean, that's a bear flag. Because if it was a rebound, you'd be looking at a candle like this, right? Okay, so we'll keep an eye on it. As far as, on the daily, it is still chugging down on this above our trend line, but it's under the 200, the 50, the 21, and let me zoom in to see if it's under the 9. Yeah, it closed under the 9 on the daily. That's not very bullish. It can gap up, but I would say it still goes down. I would personally like a double bottom here. Spoken about that before. All right, King of Kings. The thing with the 10-year yield here is they're giving you, within this megaphone, the illusion that market is stable. Market's not stable. Market is completely on crack. Okay? But yeah, it's in this area. I keep an eye on it on a daily basis. MACD on it starting to show that it wants lower. Plus we got this big red bar here. After that green dip. So we'll see. Oil. Let's talk about oil. Alright, let's go to the 1 hour. That's what you got with oil. It's lower again, right before CPI, and quite substantially. Remember, we had that move up to the 80s here from OPEC. And then it chugged, and then it's just come down, and we had this pop on earnings here. So, one thing that we haven't played in a while that I wanted to check out real quick is Warren's Oxy. So, even with this pump, it's under the magical number, which is 63. 200 comes in at 62.5 on the 1 hour as the daily. Starting to curl. Can it go higher? Yeah, if we have more random oil incidents. Not the best looking chart. Kind of an inverted head and shoulders here. If this level holds, then yeah. let's keep an eye on it. Someone let me know if I miss it, if this MACD is starting to look better. Then yeah, we can have a definitely can have a run up. Has earnings soon, right? Yeah. So okay, let's keep Oxy on watch as well. Hope this covers it. I'll be playing the usual. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to say: if this rally continues, there's one candidate that obviously is going to 270 soon, and that is Meta. I was shaken out end of day. Remember when it they shook me out here? I stopped out. I had my stop at 200. Went under, and I was like glad I got out, and then boom, right up in my face. So on a pullback next week, if conditions look good, then Meta. I'm gonna try to keep it really simple this week, and I know this is a long ass video, so I'll be, if there's something that I'm gonna be swinging, I'll alert it in the Moon Burgers, or if there's day trades with time. But again, things happen, and then I'll alert in the chat as I do. If it's choppy, fast action. If we have an all-day chugger, great. I'll put it in the burgers, and I get why, but also understand this market is on crack. It's bipolar. It hates everyone, so things change very quickly, and you know, everybody's trying to bank on it. So I'll do my best. I just don't want to be missing out on opportunities or bagging anyone by accident with jumping around too much, but I will do it. And also, if you're new and you haven't, put up on your screen the tick. It's always good to watch. Personally, I have MA indicators. I got all my indicators on here because they actually work on this thing too. But then you can see that if you don't want to be buying calls when the tick's at over at 900 and it's selling down, you know what I mean? So if you're fast enough and you have a desktop setup, do check that out. Hopefully this video of me going over this stuff was useful for you. I'll be watching the HSI and ES when it opens. Obviously, I would think that ES 4,200 is a huge level, and if it's reached tonight, it's definitely going to reject. But then we have time to run up, and also we have economic data out of the gate. We got Canadian PMI at open, and then we have our ISM PMI 30 minutes in, definitely going to give a move. And let me go over the calendar real quick here. We got Korean CPI, we got Australian rate decision, we have European PMI's inflation rate. Okay, we got inflation rate. Europe forecast is the same as the previous. They think a little higher. If it is that, market dumps into Tuesday. So don't be swinging any calls from Monday or from Monday to Tuesday, because this is and if it's a huge move up, that move will reject then later on. All right, so keep that in mind. And for all of you new guys, this is also these links in the Moon School. Tradingeconomics.com calendar. Keep it on international so that you don't, ham into a position and then there's big international news. We got Jolt after open on Tuesday, and we got Redbook, which is the Fed's book, Tuesday pre-market. We have European unemployment rate after hours. Wednesday we have, I didn't see it. We have PMI again for services, and then obviously we have FOMC, which is everything. And then Thursday we got jobs as usual. We have ECB interest rate. So we got FOMC and ECB back to back this week. Lovely. Plus jobs. And press conference right before open. Oh my, this is gonna be spicy. Jeez. Okay. And then we got Canada's unemployment rate Friday. We got NFP Friday. Yeah. Wear a cup and a helmet. Maybe matching socks too. And then, yeah, they were into May, right? And then I would think we have a bunch of Fed speakers next week. All right. So yeah, this week's gonna just be. Let's have a goal that no one gets killed this week or cooked. If we can catch a few moves this week, we'll bank. So patience. All right. Save your capital. Patience. Don't go doing anything stupid, which is easier said than done. We all know that. All right, guys. I'll see you on the train tomorrow.